YG 400. Yo, what's up? What's up, y'all? Hope everybody doing well. We're back at it with another video. We're gonna talk about this widely anticipated arrest of YG. I know many of y'all been hearing about, the Drakeo the Ruler situation, how it happened. There wasn't that much security there. It was a lot of it was very janky, honestly, how the whole setup was, and and with all those people getting killed. I mean, not all the people. I mean, with Draco getting killed and with all the people beating him, it wasn't a good look. And it was, I know it's gang politics, but it wasn't good. Actually, let's watch this video from um the Lionel B show. Shout out to Lionel B. I just want you all to please like, share, subscribe, send it to your family, friends, everything.
Boy Lionel B from the Lionel B Show, and you need to pull up a chair right now because the West Coast hip hop scene was just hit with a major development. Now, Compton's own YG has officially been detained by the LAPD. Now, law enforcement moved in, served a search warrant, and they are linking this directly to the ongoing investigation into the tragic murder of LA rap icon Drakeo the Ruler. Now, if you remember, Drakeo was taken from us back in December of 2021. He was stabbed backstage at the Once Upon a
Yeah, that been a minute. 5 years. I didn't even think about how long that's been. Yeah, especially during COVID. I know one thing they were saying, like the investigators, how a lot of the guys had masks on because everyone was masked up during that time, that 2020 to 2022-ish, maybe 2023, depending on where you live. Yeah, that was a crazy time. So it's hard for them to point out who actually was the guy. But I'll say on one clue, they could actually get the person that's looking at the clothes. You know how most criminals, they're stupid enough to keep the same clothes that they wore before, or it's like a very distinct clothing or shoe that they'll be able to distinguish between the know who's who.
time at LA Festival. Now, for years, the streets have been talking. The internet has been flooded with theories, and the rumors have been swirling about who was really behind it and why it happened. Now, the LAPD is finally making a direct move on YG. Now, make sure you stay locked into this entire video because we are breaking down everything. The history of their bitter rivalry, exactly what happened backstage that fateful night, the secret details from the investigation, and why the police are knocking on YG's door right now. Now, to understand why the LAPD is moving in on YG today, we have to look at the history between these two. This wasn't just a simple internet beef, it was a deep-rooted tension that put two very different sides of LA hip-hop against each other. Now, y'all know YG is heavily connected to the blood side of Compton, an established figure in West Coast street culture. On the other side, we got Drakeo the Ruler, who was a true independent force. He came up completely out of the mud with his own distinct style, his own lingo, and his own crew, distinct team.
Now, honestly, I found out more about Drakeo the Ruler after his death, just like Nipsey Hussle being from the East Coast. I mean, he had a buzz. I won't lie, he had a buzz. He could have been one of the big rappers today if he was alive. May his spirit rest in peace.
Drakeo didn't bow down to regular street hierarchies or the industry gatekeepers, and that created an intense amount of friction. Now, they exchanged words online and in interviews for years. Drakeo felt like the industry was trying to blackball him, while some members of the established LA scene felt like Drakeo wasn't showing the proper.
Just curious, anyone from the West Coast, you all really believe Drakeo the Ruler was blackballed by the powers that be in LA rap scene? Comment down, let me know your opinion.
Respect. Now, people close to the situation say the tension grew so heavy that it was only a matter of time before these two crews crossed paths. Now, that brings us to December 18, 2021 at the Banc of California Stadium. Now, the Once Upon a Time at LA Festival was supposed to be a historic night celebrating West Coast music, featuring legends like
Yeah, they got bomb rush, man. It looked like it was like 1,000 people. It looked like, honestly, that situation looked like 300 versus Xerxes and the Persians, honestly, man. That would have gave me flashbacks of, man.
Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent. Both YG and Drakeo the Ruler were on the star-studded lineup, but behind the scenes, security was completely loose.
I honestly wondered, like, did the concert promoters know their beefs and like what was going on in the city, especially doing in LA, as I have a heavy gang culture, and they with the shits. So I wish the event planner just honestly um saw these two, knew what was going on in the streets, and basically schedule them different days. Because I remember they did that before in New York with K Flock and his crew DOA. I know there was a fight with Ron Suno, I think, and maybe a Boogie. But yeah, they should have scheduled them different days, or if they did a day one early in the morning, one towards the end, that would have been better.
According to witnesses and court documents filed by Draco's family, Draco and a very small group from his inner circle arrived backstage. Moments later, things turned chaotic. Draco's mother, Darlene Cornell, went on record stating that a huge crowd, estimated to be anywhere from 40 to 60 people, swamped Draco and his crew the exact moment YG arrived at the venue. Other investigators who reviewed the festival tape later claimed that the numbers were even higher, with over 100 people rushing Draco's small circle of 7. If you or your
Yeah, it looked like freaking a thousand people ran up to them, and it was so calculated and orchestrated. It looked like they've been planning that for a minute. It wasn't like no spur of the moment deal.
child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious
Shout out.
mental health, they knew their app would hold these platforms. This
But yeah, man, like that whole situation was crazy. And I think
a massive brawl broke
I
out on
honestly think Snoop Dogg canceled his performance or like said something on Twitter about what's going on, like apology, like not apologies, like condolences to the family.
stage. In the middle of the chaos, Draco was stabbed in the neck. By the time paramedics arrived and rushed him to the hospital, it was far too late. Now, the hip hop community lost an absolute visionary at just 28 years old. Immediately after the incident, the finger pointing started. One of Draco's close associates, K7, went live on Instagram and boldly claimed that YG set the whole thing up because he knew Draco was on the verge of taking his spot as the king of LA rap.
I don't care, bro. Niggas always do some shit, nigga, for a real one, bro. I'm over this shit, bro. My mom, these niggas is hoes, bro. I was just letting people on my life know, like, y'all always show me love. Every time I listen to shows, y'all was cool. Y'all was like, come record. Come on, bro. It's weird because Draco actually tried to whip the blood that first when he first got out of jail. My niggas, shit weird. Niggas is hating, bro. YG a real bitch,
You can
cuz.
tell it's some real street shit. You see this nigga with the fucking Pooh Shiesty mask, and like that room look like a freaking, that door right there look like you just could kick it down, like a baby can kick that shit down, bro. You can tell these some real niggas right here. I ain't gonna lie.
Cause he knew Draco was gonna take his spot. Cuz really a bitch. Nigga set the whole shit up, bro. This shit was a setup from the start, bro. Niggas should have been seen this whole setup shit that these facts.
I mean, it was so much of a setup not to blame K7. Y'all should have been more prepared or just didn't go, honestly. I know it's a big time concert. You're gonna see a lot of record execs, get your name out there, meet more people, but some things, like if it's risky like that, you already know beforehand. I'm not saying they didn't know. I would have just stayed home and catch the next venue. You would have been alive today.
As whole ass niggas did. This shit got me hot, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. That's why I texted you that earlier. I'm like, bro, please, just please. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I already know how it go, bro. Cause I know this is gonna be an open case and stuff. Like, y'all ain't feel no weird vibes when y'all went in. Like, no, like, bro, I'm gonna tell.
That what I was saying. Did they feel any weird vibes?
I'm gonna be honest, fool. On 30 Crib, when we first came in, you know, we was there. Certain niggas was there early, so it was cool. Like, it wasn't no tension. Like, but YG and them wasn't there because they performed later, fool. So, you know what I'm saying? The nigga came in, as soon as he came, it went bad, basically. Like niggas know what they was doing, bro. It was a whole setup, nigga. We got the nigga, bro. It was a setup, bro. My mama's whole shit was a setup, nigga. And niggas seen me, was like, what the fuck? Like, K7. Oh, I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, sneak this, all weird shit, bro. When I was like by myself, only with two homies, bro, like the ops seen me, like, shook the homie hand and looked at me like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, weird shit.
Now, journalists
So they kind of felt like something was off from what K7's saying.
covering the case also reported that high-level sources in the city claimed certain street elements wanted Drakeo out the picture. The rumor was that a 17-car caravan associated with YG's entourage pulled up right before the attack took place. For years, the LAPD ran into a brick wall because witnesses backstage refused to talk to the police. Law enforcement had to rely heavily on shaky cell phone videos and venue surveillance footage. Now, YG has always maintained his complete innocence. In fact, just a few weeks back, he addressed the situation head on in his new album on a track called We Know the Truth. He rapped about how people keep trying to tie his name to the murder, saying that if it were true, he'd already be sitting in a cell. He explicitly said he got paid $600,000 for that show. So why would he want to ruin his own bag? YG's defense has always been,
That's kind of true. If you was getting paid $600,000, I would have let that shit go, bro. But I know, like, he was up and coming. He was dissing you very well. Like, his cadence was off the chain. It struck a nerve in you, YG, if it's true. Hopefully it's not. You get out. I know you're supposed to be having a versus with the game tonight. That shit ain't happening. So, I mean, hopefully this is all, like, just investigation that will lead to nothing. But if it does, you're screwed. You and y'all 400 niggas.
that he was there to perform, get his money, and go home. Now, he claims he only found out someone was hurt right as he was getting ready to hit the stage. But the LAPD clearly thinks they found something new. You don't just detain a high-profile multi-platinum artist and execute a search warrant on a 5-year-old murder case unless new evidence has come to light. Whether it's digital forensics, new cell phone data, or someone finally decided to talk to the detectives, the heat has officially turned up on 400. Now, this situation is incredibly critical for the West Coast hip-hop community. We're talking about a potential conspiracy charges that could alter the landscape of the LA music scene forever. Now, you already know, man, YG and the Game are set to do a versus battle today, but with him being detained, it looks like that shit is out the window. I definitely want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think the LAPD actually has solid evidence connecting YG to what happened backstage, or is this just law enforcement?
Shout out to Lionel B Show. Me, honestly, I think it's if they arrested him, and I know Flock also was very hard on this case, and I know he got in an argument with Munchie B, who's a host from No Jumper, who's actually really close with YG, and that put him in a tricky situation, even though Munchie B wasn't there and he can't see. I'm not gonna lie. Flocko was hit this one on the nail. He knew something was about to happen, even though I know people gonna say he's an outsider. He hung around them like he was just paying people off to get information. But it's like it's true. If they arrested him, they brought the feds. Yeah, they got enough evidence. So I'm like 75% believe that he's gonna get indicted, not as one who killed him, but as a racketeering conspiracy theory. Honestly. All right, let's see if they got some more news information. YG Rest. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. This is the actual video.
正確嘅理財嘅態度，唔需要話日日都要睇住嘅。
It's quite helpful, really, to have some.
You'll see those two guys right there. These are the detectives of the situation. YG looked cool, collective. I kind of felt maybe in his spirit, he kind of felt something was going to drop. Just curious. I know y'all probably know about Flacco doing it. You all think Flacco gonna be in danger of his life, and he wouldn't be able to come back to LA? Please, please let me know your opinions in the comments. Let's see this real quick. Let's watch a few minutes of Adam 22.
All right, so we've got huge news breaking this morning concerning YG being arrested in regards to the murder of Drakeo the Ruler. Let's get right into this. So TMZ has actually posted about it. I had already told the No Jumper team to start searching YG's name across databases and everything like that, but it seems like TMZ got this before anybody else. YG has been detained as cops execute search warrant over Drakeo the Ruler's murder. And we're going to get into a whole bunch of different things that connect to this. But let's take a look at this article first. Rapper YG had a run-in with the cops Thursday morning during a SWAT response, but he was ultimately released, TMZ has learned. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that the SWAT team responded around 7 a.m. in Burbank, California. YG was detained during the police response before the officers eventually let him go. So right here,
Well, he was in Burbank. That's a pretty nice area. I used to have my uncle. He used to live out there in like the early 2000s. He was actually a truck driver during the truck strikes. If anyone remember that, when it was going on in the early 2000s in California. He said it's a very nice area. I've never been to LA. I'd love to go one day and visit. If anyone is from California or to be specifically LA, let me know how it is in the comments.
we've got YG being grilled by police officers. I don't know if these are the same police officers who came to No Jumper looking to speak to myself and Munchie B about Draco's murder, but they are definitely from the same jurisdiction, which we'll get into momentarily. Yeah, sources tell TMZ that CHP, aka California Highway Patrol, was the lead agency on the matter and that Burbank SWAT assisted. So, the interesting thing about this is the fact that a lot of people thought that it was like somehow indicative that me and Munchie B were lying about CHP coming to talk to us about the Drakeo murder. The truth is,
Well, I didn't know CHP, but I'm not surprised since how they have Munchie B. He's supposed to be his close friend, and they talk about gang politics on their channel. Not to mention Flacco used to be one of the hosts there. He dropped a dime on it, releasing who was supposed to be. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
is that for whatever reason, the grounds that the concert was taking place on when Drakeo was killed, that was a location that falls under the jurisdiction of the CHP. So apparently they are the ones who take the lead on this situation. I'm not sure exactly like how they work and intermingle with the actual police and everything like that. Like it says Burbank SWAT assisted, like presumably the California Highway Patrol doesn't have like the same resources, or at least like, physically to do like a SWAT style raid. But as shown here, CHP in fact is taking the lead on this. We're told that cops were executing a search warrant for the investigation into Drakeo the Ruler's M, and the property is connected to YG, who had beef with the late rapper but has denied any involvement. A CHP official tells TMZ that YG was not arrested, and he was detained during the search warrant. And
Okay, YG wasn't arrested, he was detained. But still, like, it's not a coincidence a few months ago Flacco was talking about a situation with the detective, not to mention the detective, he actually posted his face and his contact information in that video. This is like they slowly but surely closing the gap on the whole situation before they actually really do lock him up. But I believe they do lock him up. He's not gonna fight or do anything crazy, try to flee. They'll just come pick him up. They know where his residence is. Pick him up and pick up. It's not gonna be just only YG. It's gonna be like a bunch of people. This is gonna be a conspiracy if they do charge him.
released. The timing is especially wild. YG is scheduled to take the stage tonight against fellow Compton heavyweight The Game in their Compton Forever versus battle. The hit-for-hit West Coast Showdown is slated to begin.
I honestly wonder how the game feel about this situation. Even though I know he Adamu Pyru, they have some ties, but the whole verse battle is screwed. The Compton Forever. Hey, nice try. The, the SWAT and the police has something up their sleeve.
Tonight. So, my first thought when I heard about this was, damn, I guess the verses ain't happening. But apparently it is, because they didn't hold him for too long. Okay, this is just another shot of him getting picked up for misdemeanor DUI.
So the verse might still be going on. If anyone know about the verse battle, Compton Forever still going on, let me know in the comments, please.
After cops found him outside his car, which had gone over a curb. Okay, this is totally unrelated. But the reason why this is really standing out as being of interest is because there's just been so much going on in regards to the Drakeo The Ruler murder in recent months. Now, the first and most notable thing is like what I said, the fact that CHP came to the office and wanted to speak to Munchie B and they want to speak to me. Obviously, Munchie B is somebody that most of us assume is not either the person who actually committed the murder or a potential witness.
Munchie ass didn't commit that murder. Munchie ass can't even see straight. Like how Munchie B gonna be involved in something like that? Like, I mean, he might have the sixth senses probably. Cause I'd be wondering, like, damn, do Munchie B really be seeing, like, really can't be seeing shit, or he really just partially blind and just put off as he's fully blind to get sympathy? Let me know.
Right? Being blind really kind of absolves you of all of that stuff, right? But when I hear about YG getting pulled over and them executing a search warrant, I'm assuming that you're not going to find anything in his car in regards to his involvement in this kind of thing, right? But what does he have? He has a phone. And the phone has all the conversations he's ever had. It's got all the phone calls he's ever made. And presumably, there could be things from that time period. I assume that they're going to be looking back to the months preceding Draco's death as well as the months afterwards. And I'm assuming that they are looking for digital assets that could potentially be found on YG's phone. And I would assume the same thing about Munchie. Munchie is, you know, if I were a betting man, I would say he would be more likely to have something incriminating on his.
That's true. Their phones, even though, you know, it's been 5 years and rappers get phones constantly, like changing new phones, they still have that hard drive, especially on the cloud. These rappers not dumb enough to take their phone off the cloud and basically dismember the phone from the inside, get the chip. They just think, oh, just mess up the phone, break it like Big 30, big ass try to do. They still was able to find the stuff on there because he was, I mean, he didn't have enough time and he wasn't smart enough to freaking disable the phone.
His phone than to have actually taken part in it in real life.
Yeah, that's what I truly believe on that. Shout out to Adam22 No Jumper for this video. Yeah, guys, I just want to know, what do you all think about the situation? You think YG is totally fucked, or you think he still got a chance at life after this? Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, keep watching my videos. The journey continues. Thank you all so much. See you on the next video.